Good evening and welcome to HAPA TV, the Insights channel. COVID-19 crisis has impacted the F&B industry severely. Restaurants, cafes, bars have all not been spared from this pandemic. But there is one particular industry that we've not really looked into, and that is the catering industry. Today we are with Mr. Liang Foo Kuan, Managing Director of Big Onion Food Caterer. And Mr. Liang is the Managing Director of Big Onion Food Caterer. He has 30 years of industry experience, and his passion for food, good food, quality food, all was inspired by his parents. Mr. Liang credits his parents for instilling in him the core ideas that form the bedrock of Big Onion's company's culture today. During the COVID-19 crisis, Liang embraced many changes and sought ways to evolve and grow, not only by way of creativity and innovation, but also digitally and logistically. Today, Liang will be sharing his insights with us on what will be the new game for the catering industry, as well as how caterers will and can survive through this new norm on HAPA TV. So welcome, Mr. Liang. Thank you for coming. Thank you for making time to join us on HAPA TV today.
Good evening, Jen, and everyone in front of their screen. Thank you for inviting me to this powerful platform of HAPA TV Insight channel.
Thank you so much. Yes. So Liang, tell me how are you coping so far?
Well, things have not been easy. It has been a tough time, I think, ever since we started, or I would say we actually are badly affected. Also, I could say the feel of it, right? It's actually in February. We already have a feel of it because, as you know, that we are in catering. We cater to a lot of corporate clients, and then private events. So for us, right, beginning of the year, which is the first quarter, it's very important to us because of the New Year and then the Chinese New Year, the festive season. So we've started to feel because we have started to have cancellation in the early February. So because of the news, what's happened in China, and like I say, around 85% of our clients are actually corporate, so they got to be very precaution and looking to their headquarters overseas and saying that, hey, look, China is having this, and the world, this is considered as a pandemic or coming, and to take a safer part, right? They actually postpone their event, or some even cancel. So that's bad, yeah.
But were they mainly cancellations at the beginning, or were they just postponements and then subsequently became cancellations?
Well, a lot of them, right, when they are unclear, they will say they call and say they would like to postpone. But I mean, everybody knows that during the February, everybody is look-see mentality. Right. And when they got the affirmation, right, when the WHO announces that it's actually a pandemic and there's a breakout, and everybody start to be panicked. So that's where cancellation comes into.
Right. So how badly has Big Onion been impacted by these COVID-19 crises?
Well, if you imagine before the lockdown, right, in March, our income has, the revenue compared same period as the last year, it's like more than half, 50%.
Right.
Yeah. Then during the pandemic, in March, right, it's a zero income.
Right.
So to say, even though we are under essential goods, we choose to be play safe, just in case that our staff are gone. And during the when it reopened, right, it's less than 10% in the beginning stage. Right. So that's how bad we are.
Right. Yeah, because I think a Big Onion used to cater up to 5,000 people, right, capacity. And you guys have got the ISO certification, you've got halal certification, you've just also invested in a brand new central kitchen, isn't it, sometime last year?
Yes. In fact, I think now it's around 1 year that we moved to our new central kitchen. We got it. Yeah, like you say, because the whole thing, right, that we moving on, right, is to moving to cater to bigger crowds. So our scale, our whole operations, supply chain, right, is tilted towards it can cater for thousands of people in one event. And So when it happened, the whole entire supply, I mean the operation changes. That we need to do a smaller scale. Let's say from 5,000 packs, we can do cooking for 5 people in one for per meal, and then to individual boxes as well. That's how bad. That's real bad.
So how long did it take you all to pivot to that model? From the time of the lockdown, how long did it take?
All right. Maybe it's just some thinking back. In the first lockdown that announced, right, it's quite a very short while. There's I think 2 days before 18, or then we got to know about 16. We actually fall under essential goods. We are actually okay to operate, but because of uncertainty, we don't know how bad it can be. So we take a step backward that say let's play safe. And during the mid of March, where we heard about the second MCO, we said, oh dear. Every day we read on the Facebook, on the media, right? Nothing is good. It's pulling us down. We getting worried. And from there, we actually said that, hey, we got to do something. And we just start. We said on the 1st of April, we are back. And like maybe a few days before, we have our so-called our first Zoom session. First Zoom session, we call about our top management, our chef, the department, to be involved and say that, all right, we got to start something. And at that time, right, there's only one thing, packed food.
Right.
So imagine that's the time we actually experienced from catering to like thousands of people or 100 people per event. Now we are doing for 5 packs, 1 pack. Where our chef has difficulty doing cooking as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So
we that's the time.
Right. So how badly is the catering industry, you think, has been really being impacted? I mean, there are various sizes of catering companies, right? There are big ones like you, there are the mediocre one, a medium size, and then there are the small ones. And there are new homemakers caterers as well, was popped up during the MCO time. So that has probably also given a lot of competition to catering companies like yours, isn't it? So how competitive is it now?
Actually, now it's very competitive. First of all, right, when we say that we started say, if those who want to cook for like 10, 20 or 30 people, my mom can cook. But want to cater for 100 or 200 packs, right? You get a caterer, right? And when you talk about 500 or 800, you get a big scalable, and then the commercial caterer who have the proper equipment. When it comes to thousands of packs, right, that's where the experience comes into picture, and the equipment, the whole supply chain. So when that is what we tilt towards, I mean, ourselves when we invested in the central kitchen, ISO certified, halal certified, the whole thing is for big volume. And when we are locked down, I mean, until now, our facility are all underutilized. So that's the time we actually say that, oh dear, what can we do? So it's a lot of our so-called same industry. We talk to each other. Some is that they are pretty small. Then they say they can still work on it because of their low overhead, their less staff. Some is that they choose to be hibernate because they don't know what's going on. Some choose to. I mean, recently we spoke to some, which is they actually wanted to sell their business, and some even said they pivot to something else, and they said that is closed, and then they go back to invest into retail outlets.
Right.
Yeah. So these are, they say, the different our friends are among the industry. Some of the steps they took.
Right. And what about for Big Onion? Are you moving forward still into catering? I mean, how is it going to be different? Because those days you can cater up to 5,000 people, right? Now you're allowed to only do events up to 250 people. So obviously the facilities and all your talented chef, your talented team, it's going to be underutilized. So how are you going to maximize all these things and and of course, to make sure that there is consistent revenue that's coming in to sustain?
Okay. First of all, right, I believe that Malaysian culture is we have a very fantastic culture, which is very forgiving and forgetful. So you can see that right now it's back to normal. Everybody experience a traffic jam.
Right.
When you go to a mall, you still see people sitting around. Restaurants, you need to queue up.
Okay.
So it's the only difference that we are putting on masks and they say, hey, we do a proper SOP, this and that. So am
Right.
I right to say that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if this with I'll say with the proper guidance from the government or the guides, and then individually take their own responsibility to keep themselves to be the hygiene, and then the social distancing and precaution, everything, I believe we can back to be normal pretty fast. Like today, we have a friend. We have for the past 2 days, we have no internal what you call that infected rate. It's all from external imported.
Yeah.
So that's good news. In fact, in our region, we are one of the leading one. Very good results. So with this moving along, right? Catering or social part, I believe that it will come out. It will come back. It's just like it might not be now, but I would say there's a near future.
Right.
You see, when the government said that, all right, now you can hold your training, which is up to 20 packs, right? People already are coming, and then the next step is that they can hold their what you call that wedding. And then as you go for the convention with 250 packs, depending on the size. So I believe the one that actually the one of the party that really benefited from here is that those convention center, because they have the space. If you work on the plot ratio per packs per distance, right, the convention center will have a upper hand. Look at it right now. Even in the office, in the restaurant, right, you are allowed to sit on the table, and then with all this, what's the difference between you are sitting in the event? Yes, the 6 feet or lesser, whatever, is being practiced right now. Everybody is doing that. So if as long the SOP is right, I'll say everybody should be back to on track very soon.
Right. And talking about SOP, so I'm just going to go to the side a bit. So talking about
Yep.
SOP, how is it in the catering side? Yeah, are the SOPs clear? Are the guidelines clear?
Frankly speaking, I personally felt that, and even some of our friends who are in the event industry, we felt that it's not very clear, because in terms of restaurant, right, cafe, training center, even in the office workstation, everybody is talking about distance. So
Yeah.
what's the difference between if you are sitting in a restaurant and sitting in a so-called an event where you also sit, right? You can imagine that, right? And also workstation. If the workstation allowed to be with this distance and you're confined in the room, isn't it an event space is much more bigger space and provide more airy area?
Right.
Isn't it better? Yeah. So the guideline, what is the standard, the golden guideline for all applies to all? We don't have that. When you talk to a restaurant, you have these specs, and then you talk to in a different area in the training center in the room, and then you talk hotels. So you see, this is the ambiguity that we all have. What kind of benchmark are we using? Let's say for us, and I say again, in an event, we are just like a restaurant, right? Where everybody sit on a table, but I totally agree that in the table of 10, we should reduce to half, which is 5, and it's good enough, right? And then you do the proper temperature, the temperature scan and scanning, your hygiene, your all your face masks, and then your
sanitizing and all this.
yes,
We do all that
yeah,
anyway. Yeah.
exactly. And also individuals must take their own responsibility to keeping themselves safe. Yeah, that's the most. So with all this, I don't see in terms of, I mean, that will make us much more clearer if everybody of these different industry or the part or the government have a proper, I mean, a more clear guideline, and everybody will be much more easier.
Right. Okay. So, because I always, we always talk about the F&B industry, right? And the minute we talk about F&B industry, the first thing that comes to mind is always restaurants. The first thing. And then, of course, we have the cafes, and we've got the other
Parts,
F&B outlets.
entertainment, yeah.
That's right. And then you've got the entertainment in the bars. But, we tend to always forget about the catering industry. But actually, the catering industry is a huge industry because you're talking about events, right?
Yes.
All different events are all actually part of the catering industry. So,
Yes.
so basically during the MCO period, when we went through a couple of lockdowns and there was some stimulus package that was announced by the government, was there any help at all to the catering industry? Did it help at?
Not much of direct assist, but in terms of, let's say, like the SRF loan,
Right,
then the employee the from Pegaso, all this, yes, indirectly it does help. Yeah,
right,
but putting in the focus of so-called in the catering or event industry is something that I think there's an association known as Marcios. They're working
right,
very hard to reach out to the government, and they
right,
did a great job. So I mean, even for yourself, you also speak on behalf of for F&B, including catering,
right.
to the respective department. So all this, I think, make a voice to them. They do hear, but it's not much. I mean, there are a lot of attention need to be made because of, like, say, in a catering or in the event, we are consists of composite of different in terms of food, the people who coming, the furniture side, performance, entertainment,
Right.
the groups of people, how they move. It's everything all in one.
Mm,
So it's quite, I would say, it's very big. Consists of many others bodies that come into.
right, right. So
Yeah.
has there been any events that has up to 250 packs? Has there been any of inquiries or any interest, or do you see a surge coming up that more and more people are wanting to do bigger events up to 250 packs?
We do recently. I mean, when the government announced, we have some government company that are now calling up to say that they want to do a launching, which is around 200 packs, but pet food, and then they also in different will be social distancing. That per table, they're asking about the guideline, how many packs per table. We told them it's 5, no buffet, so you got to do it, serve it very individually because of food safety. And we will ask them about, do you have a proper kitchen, all this and that. So it's a new guideline. The cost will be higher. That's definitely one thing. And the second, right? In fact, the good news that tomorrow we have a client who have a order for 1,000 packs.
Oh,
So how does
cool.
it come into? It's all pet food.
I
They will
see.
have different distribution channel. They have
Right.
different counter. They do their respective spacing for
Mm-hmm.
the people to queue up to get their food.
Mm.
So you
Mm.
see, even though you say 1,000, wow, how come it's 250? But
Yeah.
we opened up, let's say, to 10 counters. Every counter is only 100 people queuing up. And
Right.
with the proper guidelines, something like this, yeah, it can be manageable.
Right.
It's equally as good as, that's why I always say that those owner who have a bigger venue space,
Mm.
they have on the upper hand. Because in
Right.
Malaysia, in so far our experience that there are many MNC and big events going around.
Right.
People still believe that personal touch
Mm.
is different.
It's still different.
It's, I mean, I'm talking to you right now. You can be how fancy, but
Right.
the personal touch is not there. Am I right
Right.
to say?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
So I think this is something that we can't miss out.
Right, right. So basically, I mean, one of the ways to manage a bigger event, like you said, is to go for a bigger venue, and so that you can have more counters to disperse the food, and the crowd of people, the 1 meter distance, all those can be achieved, if the space is big.
Yes.
But then that's going to
Yep.
add a higher cost to the client for sure, because the client would need a bigger space, right? Decors, tables and furnitures, and all this is going to add on quite a bit of cost, isn't it, to the client?
Definitely, Jen, I agree with you because from our side, right, you'll be investing in the what you call in disinfection, and then
Mm,
sanitizing, and then all
mm,
the stuff we wearing masks, proper hand gloves.
right,
We need a temperature scanner to the extent of AI scanner, face recognition. All this, all money. But
right,
looking at the long term, I would say the whatever the what we are doing right now is something that will be ongoing. We don't know when the next wave, or even in future, to prevent all this that happen.
mm,
We're going to live together. It's a cohabit. So it
mm,
become a new norm. Everybody saying that. I believe so. So
right,
costing wise, yes, everybody will be. If everybody willing to top a little bit, I think that will be, as I said, setting a new standard.
right. So how do you think companies, whether they're corporate companies or medium-sized companies or government or any of your associates, yeah, including your employees, your chefs as well, your stakeholders basically, how do you think they should contribute to keep the catering industry going, to keep it alive?
Overall, is that you see, they are as overall as an industry, we should say that we support in terms of that we believe that this thing will come back by taking the initiative. Example, like recently when the moment the CMCO, the RMCO, they announced that they can do like X number of people, 20 packs, I did my first sit down. Do we make a lot of money? No. In fact, it's like just break even, but we want to create the awareness that actually you can do it with the proper SOP. Right. So this is the thing that when you see, I have my network and you have your network, everybody say, hey, actually he and she can do it. Why is it why we can't? I think maybe we just check a little bit, we take more precaution, and one will relate to another and will spread. So everybody say that yes, you can, then it will happen. If everybody say no, nobody is spending, that's it. The end of all so-called catering. Yeah. So I believe that take the initiative and do it. As long as you do it correctly, people see, people follow. So follow correctly, and as people follow, right, they improve on it. So the standard will eventually comes up, and that will be the guideline.
Right. But what is actually the highest cost for a catering company?
The highest cost.
Is it manpower?
Sorry?
Yeah, is it more the manpower is the highest cost, or is it your rentals because of your centralized kitchen? Investment in equipment? What is actually your highest cost?
It will depend. Maybe I use a metaphor of a boat, all right? If you are a small one, a sampan, how much does it cost you a sampan to build a sampan? But what you catch is ikan bilis. I mean, the guppies are smaller. But if you want to have a bigger one, you want to have a better kind of values, you go for catching a tuna. Or maybe riverside, you get a better fish. So you need to build your structure. That's where your central kitchen, your assets. And when that comes to a certain stage, right, you want to go to deep sea. You have shark, you have tuna, right? All this. Right. You need the equipment. You need the expertise. Your ex-staff or the ex-guy, he may not have the experience. So you get to input from outside, and it's not cheap. Right? And when you say the best thing is that one big wheel is equivalent to how many thousand or million of small fish, but what kind of equipment do you need? What kind of ship? How is it built? So I believe it depends. Your business, it depends on what size you are, which level you are. You know where the cost comes from. For us, right, what you buy a chicken, I also buy the same more or less. The difference maybe 10 or 20, 15% different, right? Maybe so it gets slaughtered. Okay. But the entire supply chain behind how to prepare a plate of chicken or a plate of a packet of nasi lemak right in front of you is the difference. Imagine if some of our clients say that, if I want, why is it that you cannot sell me a packet of nasi lemak for 150? The roadside, the makcik is selling this one. Why can't you? I'm giving you a bigger order. I'm giving you 1,000 packet. Okay, I said, first of all, the makcik maximum capacity may be 100 packet because he's using his own way of cooking, house, don't need a rental. Ours one, right, we cook 1,000. You imagine, let's say the wok that she has, you only can cook 10 packs quantity. You need to cook how many times? And if the chicken taken out from frozen to raw and it's leave it outside, what will happen? The fly will come. By the time you cook the chicken, right, it become green. The first pot that you cook, you start to contaminate. So I said, we invest in the chiller, a big chiller, had a proper facility, no insects, blah, 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 and everything we put on. So that is what you are investing, what we are investing. So it's the supply chain and the whole SOP. That is very costly as you go to a certain stage. So, that will explain.
Right. And interesting enough, when you say that, because I read up, and there was one of these article that was featuring you, and you said that, the article says that
Okay.
Liang is someone who believes in not chasing the dollar sign when growing a business. Instead, he prefers to grow the company organically to meet the demands of their customers and also provide a better environment for their employees. How has this belief taken you through the last 10 years of Big Onion's journey?
Okay, I think it's family. We how my mom operates, my dad, so right, they all do, and then my siblings, my brothers, we work right. Yes, but you say that if money is not a very essential, I think I need to correct. It is very important. Put it this way, it's just that
Right,
when there is something that comes to you, right? We know that let's say X amount they are giving you. If you really focus on that, everything on to the dot,
mm,
you won't get what the quality will compromise a little bit here and there, put it this way.
right,
But if you're not that calculative, right, you say,
mm,
I no matter what, I want to make it a success, I want this is my benchmark,
right,
boom. That is the difference. So there is always a balance between a person who is very passionate about it and
right,
the person who know how to, in terms of costing a bit, marketing. So that will balance off. Because no matter what, right, we still need to, in order to survive, you need to earn the money.
right,
So,
right,
and I personally, and I'll say, and my brother as well, we
mm,
believe that as long as we got X amount, all right, enough to make, then we focus on the quality to do the best. I mean,
right,
little bit, we take and lose a little bit now, it's okay. But eventually, when the end result is good, people love it, they tasted it because we're in food, they'll come back. That's the time where they appreciate, and then you grow slowly
mm,
and you do it well, and then with your passion, everything, right? I believe the rest of the things will come in place in terms of your better price. I mean
yeah,
the pricing, positioning, the right kind of staff, and then the clients as well. It will come into as long you do the things right. Yeah.
right, right. So that's why it says that you are one person who believes in growing this business organically, right? To make
Yeah.
sure that
Yeah.
whatever whatever you earn, you reinvest, and you always
Go.
strive to
Yeah.
make sure that your quality improves all the time, right?
Yeah.
So, um, and how are you? Okay, so basically, what is the strength of Big Onion? What is Big Onion's strength
Okay.
in the catering
We
industry? What is the strength?
okay to me lah. To me personally, uh, we have a very good team. My brother is with me. He's a chef.
Mm,
My COO, my lady boss, all right,
mm,
is very good in marketing,
mm,
all right. We also keep doing also costing as well. Myself will be more of the front line, the one is talking, I say, representing company, and then the overall vision, everything. Combined mix of top management, and then we have the right and left people, our top management, and right down to the kakak that's helping us to wash. Why I say that? Because a company, no matter how strong, right, is still made out of the people, the whole team. And when times like this, right now, the COVID, right, we actually see a lot of them who have the initiative, who are willing to tighten their belt to go with the company. But I won't say it's 100%, but this human. Majority of them are willing to go together with us. Human asset, number one.
mm,
Second, we believe, right, it's always constantly in terms of innovating, getting the new things. And this is part of our, I would say, our passion as well. We like to look at those who are the best, using that as a benchmark. And then to look, even I think many years ago, where we actually, I'll say not many years ago, quite a few, until now, we still love to travel to
mm,
see what's the best. We said, very obsessed with how people use it, what kind of cutlery people see. When we sit down in the restaurant, we'll flick over the plates and see what brand is it
yeah,
without people noticing. Yeah,
right,
taking picture of other people's menu.
yeah,
Yeah, so we come back, hey, why is it they can do so much? Well, these are the idea. So you see the passion for it, yes. But you come to taste, yes, as long we love to eat, I can't say satisfying 100% of the people. Our finger also have short and long. As
mm,
long as 70% of it, we are very good.
right,
And
right,
with this, the taste, we always constantly improve ourselves. We want to look, making nice food because we have come to the industry of catering or that. It's not that something you got something to fill up your stomach that's good enough. No.
right,
We believe in terms of that the whole thing, the place in front of you, before you eat it, you love it. You look at it by presentation, elegant, where all the tiny things, right? Then that's on the display, the food. Then now we extended to one more thing, it's called total customer experience. That means when they see your brand, they heard about your brand, when they call, the experience of picking up the call, how they manage your menu, how they guide you, till even we on the actual day or the last minute thinking impromptu, how well our staff are trained, till the end of the day, finish, complete all your guests are left, we take away your tapao, all your rubbish back, and what you felt. So that is called total customer experience. This is over the past 10 or more years, what we built. At different stages, we can afford and what we see the improvement. So these are the things that, like I say, the products. And then, of course, the next level is called certification. We are the halal certified, and we also have the ISO. Especially right now, ISO is very important because of how you handle your food. A lot of people, I think, during this pandemic, right, people are cooking. I'm not saying that it's not right, but hygiene factor. I think there's a lot of complaint that people, how they prepare the food. When you come in, it's like this. But how did they prepare in their central kitchen? That will give you a shock. So all the while we are emphasized on the food quality, the hygiene factor is part of the ISO. It's all been in place. So again, come back to say when you want to have a big event, yes, a lot of people can cook like big bowl of curry or burn down or everything, but you want to put in very niche or very petite food like canapes or even cocktail food for 1,000 packs, we can do it. Those who can do it, maybe say the hotelers or some, they might not have the certification. So we have it. So we have the both of it. So that is the advantage. I mean, the success and this is how you say overall for Big Onion. This is who we are and what we do. The whole team.
Good. So now put aside all the new, we call it the new norm challenges or the social distancing that that somehow we all are taking it on as challenges. Okay, let's put that aside. So looking at your last 10 years of the catering business or the catering market or the catering trend, right? And now comparing it with the new, so-called the new norm for catering. If you look at the challenges that you had the past 10 years, do you think, what are the challenges do you foresee coming into the new norm for the catering business? Do you see any similarities or challenges, or is it going to be, to you, is a totally new set of challenges going into the new norm for catering?
Okay, let's say for a Big Onion, right? First of all, it's the size. Yeah, because right now we are competing with a lot of, I say that the individual household whom they're passionate of it, and they try, to be fair, some of my friends or events as well, they cook and they love their food. I say, all right. So there it goes. And then they say, now you use the word caterer, I can cook. I say, that's good. That's how I'll say, even ourselves, we grow from small. But that, again, indirectly, the smaller group whom we might be catering, they might say, I have more option. I have more. And then the pricing wise, because they operate from home, so it's very competitive. This is one of the things. In the end, it's still dollar and sign, and then service, and then what kind of product. So all this come to us. We felt that it's not like before. Before it's really very tough. Now it's more tougher.
So can I say that before MCO, these home caterers didn't exist much. Therefore, you didn't. They were not there as part of your major challenges as compared to now.
I would say is the smaller one is always there. The medium size. I mean, let's say for 50 packs or 30 packs, it's always there. Even a restaurant can do. They are doing that also, right? Because then they come with the home cook one. Home cook groups, they come in, they can do a 10, 20. Now they see the money, all right, they can do. Then they say, why not we do a 30 packs or 50? So we are, as I said, we are skilled towards like 1,000 packs. If that doesn't happen, right, a lot of redundancy is there, underutilized resources. So that is our challenges, because the way we build is that. So if you're a medium size, you're neither here or there, so you'll be competing with them as well. You can't go big because some of the bigger boys are there. If you are small, right, you are going to me, it's like a Red Sea. the Red Sea, everybody, and you're fighting. So in the end, you're fighting with prices. So you said you are economy of skill, economy of skill. How big is your skill? So that is, you depend where you are, and for us, it's not easy for us.
Right. So basically, the home caterers have mushroomed during the period, and they sort of like they're everywhere, right? Everywhere around you, like like how people say everyone can fly, right? It's like everyone can cook, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
The hidden talent all been discovered.
But okay, apart from the home caterers, what are the challenges do you foresee coming into the new norm of the catering game, which didn't exist in the old norm? Like I said, put social distancing and all those things aside.
The new problem. I mean, there are new issues.
New challenges that you foresee coming.
All right. One thing, right? We foresee that our clients, the spending power will drop drastically, and because of everybody, you see, catering is something that they do for celebration. They make a hoo-ha of it.
Right.
Then people to entertain. When there's a new product to launch, they need training. They need meetings. If all the business activities have been reduced because the end, which is the consumer, they're not spending, all the budget will cut, and the whole entire supply chain will be affected. When we stop to cater less, our back-end supplier, they will have less demand for their food, for their raw materials, and the planters, they say we don't plant anymore so much because there's not so much demand. There'll be a lot of waste we got to throw. So the entire supply chain will be very badly affected. That's why the government encouraged that to spend. Yes, we still go out. I mean, for me, pocket no very tight already. Sometimes you still entertain. Come on, okay, we believe in that. I spend $1, hope that the dollar will spin around the economy and come back to me maybe more. Yeah, so just spend, but with cautious. Yes, do. Yeah.
Right. So have you found the right recipe to playing the new game? What is before that, what is the new game? What is the new game for catering companies, or really, what is the new game for the catering industry?
Okay, that will depend on very much individual, because when like I say, the moment on the 1st of April we started, we tried everything. Everything, what it means is that something that we never did before, even the marketing campaign, I would say that for the past 3 years, in the last 2 months, we did all the marketing activity that we have for the past 3 years. We cook individual, we cook for family, we say Western, then you got Chinese, you got leg of lamb, then I say, hey, come on, Raya is coming, why don't you do a Raya package? And then we throw in a lot of fancy things. We work with different collaborative partners, we work with different organizations, and then to an extent, because all of us are in F&B industry, there are certain time where we actually work with Parathai under the Lock-in Group, Paradise Group, Hapsing Star. We use their Mercedes, right? I'm doing the high-end delivery, where I'm the delivery boy as well. We work with Vanilla Crepes, Black Whale, Teochew Tendo, Jasprit on the curtain, Ilian Way, with St. John's, and then Christine, we buy certain like a discounted price because everybody having difficulty of to sell the product. And then once you buy certain things, right, we give it for free, or we give the voucher for everyone to take a pack food from us. Our collaborative partner, we insert the discount for that so that you stimulate the sales. So this is what we have been doing. And work with different parties and bodies, it's not easy. Every night, I say that it's just like, one thing is that we are so busy. The whole office is so active. You see the talent of my staff are doing their life. They initiated from a chef. They become a celebrity. I would say they even tomorrow, right? My staff said, Mr. Liang, we all of us have tried to be in front of doing the live. So tomorrow is your turn. I said, what? Yes, you as the company leader, you have to. You got to show a good example. I said, all right, I can't push away. So I said, all right, tomorrow 4:00 I'll be there. So you say you don't be too harsh to me, even though working time I'm very harsh to you guys. Don't take the chance to post out. So you can see that we try to as frankly speaking, in terms of the food, right? We do packed food. We do B2C. B2C is not our forte. There are so many who go in. When you go on, put on your Grab, you open your apps, there are 1,001 options. You want to find big onion, nobody knows. In the event, yes, but retailer, there's so many choices, including myself when we want to buy food. So that is not our forte. As I just mentioned to you, we have a lot of underutilized facility resources. We do OEM. We OEM for others. A lot of the we found that there's a lot of the F&B or related industry. They actually during MCO they can't afford. They actually stop dismiss their employee, or some partially. But when the comes are back, they say I don't want to have overhead. The new the overhead, and this is actually a new norm where nobody want to have a heavy asset. The new trend is collaborate, outsource. Do what you are best. You're best in branding. You're best in marketing. Carry on. Whatever all the fun thing, you outsource to someone. So this is where we actually found that because we can cook in bulk, so we have the ISO certification, we have halal. We have people who come to inquiry say, "Can you cook for us?" I said, "Yes, why not?" Good timing. If you are coming to before MCO, I'll say no. The times are good, man. Now times are bad. Okay, I'm willing to talk to you. Come, please. Let's see how you can work. And the response are pretty good. We have we are doing for hotel, restaurant, different parties. Yeah.
So you reckon this is probably one of the new game is to really collaborate with even restaurants or collaborate with other catering companies or hotels who may require the central kitchen services or your type of big capacity where they have maybe many branches, so they can still come to you and use your central kitchen, right? To then, of course,
I would say because now they always use the word what we call that dark kitchen or because to me, right, dark kitchen, ghost kitchen, right, all the terms. But to me, it's that you open and let people come in and out. You see, we are, when you deal with food, right, it's very sensitive. It's not that you just let people come in and then you don't know who's the one who passed by and drop something accidentally. We don't want that to happen. So we have our procedure because of ISO. So we say, all right, one is that you either take some recipe from us, or from there we will expand, or you have your own recipe, see whether we can cook something for you. NDA is very common, not an issue. So that is what we do right now. We assist in terms of one way or another. Which I see that is actually very common in the bigger company. You see, let's say you say the Mercedes, right? Do they manufacture all their parts? No. They get OEM. Yeah. Same in terms of in China, in US, the bigger company, right? A lot of things are outsourced to the specialists.
Yes, that's right. Right. So is that the new recipe you have found for big onion? The new recipe?
Well, you see, now it's only like April, May, June, 3 months plus. The first 2 months we are like every May running headless chicken. Now we see that
have you found your head?
Are more stable.
Put back or not?
We found a few head. We don't know which one really fit in well. Yeah, we look at it, right? Because I think during this time, everybody is trying out each other. We say as long we carry on in a way that we are comfortable with both parties, then we talk about the long term. Because the moment is commitment, right? And you can't deliver. That's something very difficult. Because we say that how many can you commit per day, per month, right? We don't. So I said we lower that part. As long as you are comfortable, we just produce for you. You're just like another walking customer. When I can do for 5 people, cook for 5 people, right? What is the quantity? Your quantity is definitely higher than that. So we say that we are very open. Let's talk about it. When you are very comfortable with us, we hope that you grow, we will grow.
Right.
And we apply our specialists. We are in the food guy. So the rest, you do your marketing, your front, whatever.
Right. So you're very open. So basically, Big Onion is moving towards OEM as well as collaboration very heavily.
Yes.
Right. Okay. And what is it that you'll be outsourcing? What can catering companies outsource?
Well, if you say that we have other company which is in the F&B, they also come to us. They said, initially I thought, what is this? you try, what are you trying to do? Well, when actually reason out, yes, we see that because of certification, that's one thing. Their capacity, and then their expertise, or when they want to grow big going to next level, they lack of the time, because to invest a central kitchen is go by millions. So instead of that, why want to risk? You don't know what's the outcome.
Right.
You try it with us. I mean, you get someone like us to outsource to us, and then you think it's profitable, and then it's much more value. I mean, more justifiable where you to have your own central kitchen. Then you move out. It's okay. At least we try, because nowadays people, you won't know what's happen next, right? You don't want to be overcommitted. You can see that over the past few months, everybody want to come out from the tenancy agreement. Everybody is crying out loud. Everything is tied out. Yeah, so we say that, oh, never mind, you can't. We just trade there. Get comfort on it. Yeah.
Right. So with, the fact that Big Onion is also certified, ISO certified, halal certified, and you've got a central kitchen, would you be also looking into new markets, like, say, for example, airlines, right? When the travel industry picks up again, would you all be also looking into doing catering for airlines or OEM for airlines as well, or pre-pack and?
Yes. Speaking, we actually have working on food tasting, and we got quite a good result from the feedback. Next week we are meeting them for going for next step, because we got our food, the correct food, what they want. It's just like further more discussion on that. Yeah, airline food is something that we are looking into.
We'll also be looking into. Good.
Yeah. All this happened in a very short time.
Yeah, it's usually, isn't it, when you have to pivot, when you have to reinvent your business, when you have to repurpose your whole central kitchen, it's like suddenly you realize that there's so many areas that you can go to. Because prior to this, I'm sure Big Onion has been really busy with a lot of big events, right? Big corporate events. So I don't think you would have had time to look into these areas, isn't it? Right?
I do admit that. That's why I call back some of my old clients, right? I say, hey, you know what? We are doing packed food. We are doing this, right? They say, hey, last time you don't do nothing less than 100 packs or certain price. I said, yeah, that was then. Come on, let's talk to me. I'm willing. So they said, all right. We know your quality is there. We know why. Okay, so we closed quite a number of deals like this.
Right.
Because they know our quality, everything. So that's one. Then I said, OEM, right? If you talk to us half year ago, I'll say not at the moment, because we are so busy. We don't have the time. But that's why I'll say every they say pandemic or whatever situation, right? There's also an opportunity. So the most important is the mindset. You see, if I were to stay inside, right? I don't do anything. I mean, I personally felt, I'm not saying right or wrong, I might not have come across all these opportunity. Yeah, some of them, my friends say, hey, I see you're very active on social. I mean, you're still going for dine. I mean, interview. Right? I say, those are people who know me. They pay me now. They give face. They say, call you for interview. Like Jen, you're a good friend. So you say, I say, okay. Well, nothing to be loose. I mean, I'm very open with our industry, sort of things, right? We share, and people that's hurt. Who knows? Maybe one of your friends or one of the listeners say, hey, I got something. Why not? So I believe that each and every one of us should keep on moving. When you move on, right, when you're engaging, right, first of all, you don't stay at home. At least you dress up already. You comb your hair, right? And when I was at home for the past 100 months, I like pale, I also put on weight, and my sleep is all upset. So when you come to social part, you really groom yourself up. Your mind is so sharper, because you know that you want to meet, you want to talk. Like tonight, I'm talking to you, I got to drink my coffee and make sure I speak the right thing. So these are the mental, I call that vitamins that we need right now. Don't hang around with the negative people, because you're going to drench it out. There's a lot of negative things out there. Get the right group of people, and everybody contribute and say that, why not? Nobody have experience. There's no SOP for what we are happening right now. So it's very important, our mindset. I think you are in the mindset. You are a mindset trainer. You know pretty well. This is what I've been telling my friends. Yeah, our staff who went for your workshop, they came back. They said the teacher Jennifer mentioned this. I said, yes, exactly. You want to be, either you switch to be positive or negative, want to stay at home and wait for the problem to come, or just work, and then we see what's the things possible to happen. And I also believe that God will give you a way if you're willing. You need to help
Absolutely.
yourself in order for God to help you as well. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I think, absolutely very important to have the right mindset, especially for entrepreneurs, because, the one thing that the difference between, how I look at it is the difference between a successful entrepreneur and not yet successful entrepreneur is that the successful entrepreneurs always looks at a lot of possibilities. So, because once they have a very positive mind, they're able to go and look at what are all the possibilities out there that I can work, I can try, I can, explore and do so many things. So the minute you have a negative mindset, you tend to sort of say, okay, that's it, I can't do anymore, closed, and your mind just shuts down. But now that you're on the topic of the mindset, can I just ask you this? On 18th of March, when the lockdown was announced, and I'm sure I'm sure it took you like a couple of days before things sort of start to settle in, and then reality would have hit you, right? Reality would have hit you to say, that's it, you can't do anything, you're gonna have zero income for a while.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Like, you've been doing this business for 10 years, more than 10 years, and
Yep.
suddenly you came to a point where you might lose the entire business, right? That's what all of us thought about. So what were you feeling? What was going on in your head? How did you get yourself out to being so positive?
I'll say, if I tell you right, I'm very positive all the way, I'm bullshitting lah.
Yeah.
I'm a human. I'm human.
Yes, yeah.
The moment you say, wow, the things can shut down, I said, shit. It's here like a sato lah. What we need to do, and then first of all, we look at our bank account, and then how much we still owe people, and then how much we can still collect back outside. So financially, it's one of the first things that come to our mind. And then we look at it, it's like, how long going to be? So we are panicked.
Right.
We are very disoriented. When we talk to all, a lot of the big things in everybody's mind is a big question mark. Including our staff. Every time when we call for a town hall meeting, my staff said, what next? What will happen? Are we going to get laid off? To the extent, right, I think the third or fourth town hall meeting that we had, my staff said, we are going to open. This is what we're going to do. I said, thank God, Mr. Liang. To be frank, every time when you call for town hall, we are so scared that you're going to give up. Give up the business, give up on us. I said, no. I'm telling you that we are opening, and this is what we're going to do. I'm very open about our accounts, our sales, how much we do. The lowest we got is 0 per day. On average, like 1,000 plus, few hundred, 200-300. Imagine our company with maybe doing that kind of scale, right? When I look at that, it's like it's very, very upsetting. So when the customer who order 5 sets of so-called my dessert plate, I say I must know who they are. I want to go there. I must personally deliver to him or her. So that is the time I said, wow, this is so. It suddenly made me realize that I'm back to square one where I just started the business. The kind of passion, the kind of flame. Yeah? So I said, wow, it's something that is good. Yeah. So in between, I talked to a lot of people over the phone or even the Zoom. Family members is very important. My wife supported. My mom is there. My sibling, yes. And then when we have these difficult friends among the same industry, I mean, including you, Jen, I think we checked quite a few rounds of getting what's happening in the industry. So you do give a lot of insights. We have limited resources. You are looking at overall. And same as our friend, when they give us, there are still people who are still crying to me right now to say that, why is it the SRF is not? Why is it the government are paying the employee directly and not going? I said, friend, this is over already. If still waiting for that, you die long time ago. And if I were to, I die long time ago. Let's move on. So look at it and mix with the right kind of people is very, very important.
Right.
Ideas, sparks, and how you make it possible is the guy that behind tap on your shoulder. Liang, I think you can do it. Try. Nothing to lose. We are now at the ditch, right at the bottom already. So anytime you try, right? Nothing. I mean, like I met this Dennis Lau, and after that, it's a very new friend to me, but he's very famous. So he pivoted to become the Kai Wong. selling chicken. So yesterday night, right, we were texting, right, midnight, I think maybe 3:30, 4 o'clock. Once we have a messaging, you say, oh, this one, let's go. I said, you are very champion. You are very aggressive, and you're very innovative, and you move fast.
Right.
And the following up, right, is so good. I also
Right.
salute him. A lot of
Right.
people made it. It's like, just lepak. Wait lah, I got still my bank, got still a lot of money, maybe sold it. But these are the people that make the difference, and you'll survive. We call it survival.
Right, right. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true, right? And that's the thing. I mean, what about suppliers? How, I'm sure catering
Oh,
companies have so many suppliers, right? You've got your machines, you've got your. I mean, thank God for the moratorium, but you've
yes.
also got so many other suppliers. What about them? Did they give you the support? Was there enough support from suppliers?
Frankly speaking, we are very thankful for this supplier. Without them, right, we'll die earlier and faster as well. You see, first of all, the track record that we had was also very important.
Right.
If we are all the while we are practicing a good practice, right? I mean, in the business, who doesn't owe anybody money?
Yeah.
The word rolling is so common, right? So
Yeah.
there is a time when we know we on time we pay. I talk to when supplier call at this time, right? Frankly, I tell them sorry, we are very stuck. Can I call you back later? We pick up the calls, and
Right.
we don't just leave them in the dark. Maybe
Mm.
some of it is like because we got so many suppliers. Some might be a bit delay in terms of replying to them, but like even today, right? We work out how we want to call, how we want to repay them. I'm still working on that. So
Right.
some of them who are with us for so many, they say, "Oh, Liang, I don't worry. Your company have been very good reputation. I mean, so far, no matter what, you still pay, and the building is much more bigger than, and now it's just this amount. We have confidence in you. These
Right.
little words and these little confidence really add on
Yeah.
to it's to motivate us to move on because you say yes. We also see the light that what we're doing, and the possibility. I mean, the things are coming. We're still ordering from you. So we order canopy, we order the table chairs. It's coming in. So at this time, and I
Right.
said, let's work out the whatever we owe you, we pay, we work on installment. Can you
Right.
agree with it? If
Right.
not, how? We talk to them. Right? That's
Right.
one. Second,
Right.
if those debt we are still owing you, maybe the new order will come in. I know that you also don't want to debt late. We pay you by cash, we buy with cash. But sometimes they also say, yeah, cannot like. I mean, this one you still owe us. I said, don't worry. I mean, we pay by cash. We understand. But the old one let us know because we also have difficulty in the collection.
Of
Our
course.
client also telling us we are this. So this is the time where we need the support from our client and also from a supplier. This is how the whole economy moves. So
That's
with the
right.
government assist, right, to prevent the moratorium, we really hope that they can extend or something like that because otherwise we are not quick enough to come back. We see the light, but tomorrow they say tomorrow the sunshine is so beautiful, but can we survive tonight?
Right.
That is the issue.
Right.
So government is the biggest player of all for the economy. We definitely look into their assist in terms of one way or another. It's not that we can't perform.
Right.
The day I spoke to someone from Bank Negara, those companies that have been performing, making growth in the past 2017, 18 or 19 or 1819 or 19
Right.
the possibility of their survival in 2021 is higher than anyone else. Right now.
Correct.
Everybody is having the same impact. If they have a good track record, these are the ones that possibility of can survive. But if the past few years you have been making loss, to be frank, this is the time. Do you think you have your chances of survival is high?
Right.
I doubt that as well. So
Right.
we look into it, we explain to our supplier, and they know that, and that's why the support from them. Everybody say, all right. They just pull together, do you say? So we thanks a lot to them. Without
Right.
them, we won't be here today as well.
Right. Right. Yeah. I think it's so important, isn't it, to have the right support system.
Exactly.
I also believe that in business, we need to have the right support system. At both ends, yeah, support system at home and also support system in the business.
Outside. Yes. And
You
as
know?
staff as well, our
Yeah.
employee as well.
Yeah.
They go the extra mile. It's fantastic.
Well, I mean, you guys have kept your team, isn't it, from throughout the whole MCO? I mean,
Yes,
90%.
I'll say 95% of them are still with us.
Right.
Yes, yeah, they're still with us. They are. I mean, there's staff who say that. I know that time like this, right, is tough, and they are the one who. There are people who told us that he opted for unpaid because they felt that his services is not in use, and said maybe he want to start up something else. I said, all right, 1 month enough. Then after he come back second month, I said, this also is the company. Your position is still in the company. You think that it's right time, you can come back. Yeah. So employee also look into the pocket of the employer. They are recently that we have quite some projects outside, and the response are pretty good. The employee take their own money to initiative to buy things for him, to buy, because the last minute they can't reach to us. They take the money to buy some stocks, and then they claim from us. Yeah, and then even they work the extra time, right? They don't really calculate. I mean, even though we tell that this moment we cannot really have paying OT or this, they need to work. And I said, the one got chance, right? You guys are the one that I was consider to release.
Yes.
One thing is good also that I think now is what, July? I mean, for the month of June, right? We managed to get a little bit money from here and there, from government here and there. We maintain their salary, no cut. So is this something I say proud of?
Very proud. Yeah, that's right. That's really good. It's really good. So how are you going to navigate your business now through this whole period of uncertainty, the lack of clarity from now until end of the year? How are you going to navigate your catering business? Right. Okay, so we're waiting for Liang to come back. I think he's had a dropout. So, and this is what I've been talking about, even ever since MCO started on the 18th of March, with the F&B industry has been really, really severely impacted. And, catering industry has been left out, as in, not many people were talking about the catering industry, but actually the catering industry, in fact, is even harder hit because their competitors are not just hotels and smaller catering companies. Their competitors are also the restaurants, because then they also started going into doing takeaway and delivery, which means they were also competing with the restaurants. So so Liang is back here. So as we were saying, Liang, as I was asking you, how are you going to navigate your business from now to end of the year at least?
All right, like I mentioned to you, we have several projects with the B2B, OEM for others. Right. This is something that we a long term thingy, right? And the catering part, and you can see that it's coming back in a smaller scale. So concurrently, both things are coming. And when the stage where if you were to go what we were before, the things that we commit to our B2B become a new revenue. So I'll say that at that time, our total revenue might have increased as well. Yeah. So what we are doing right now, to be frank, is that to sustain. And we see the light at the end of the tunnel. Most important is to sustain ourselves. Whatever things that we do right now, like I say, we are so blind when we are very busy, we can't see. Right now we are looking at it and we are working on it, and we see that the possibility of growth. So with all these things that we can survive right now to enough to cover, when the catering come back or whatever skill, we are already there. So it's like we have a double, more income. Right.
So basically now,
so I would say it's very positive. Yeah.
That's good. So in other words, I mean, now you're basically sort of like laying the foundation, making sure that you've got all new markets covered as well, so that when the market starts picking up, you're already ready, and you're as in you're ready to rock and roll, that sort of thing, right? Yeah. So good, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Liang, for making time to join us on HAPA TV. And, we wish you the best. And we look forward to getting you back on the show, maybe 6 months from now, when you start sharing with us all your new ideas and new pivot points, where maybe the OEMs and who knows, maybe one of these days when we travel on any of the airlines, we know that's going to be catered by Big Onion.
Looking forward, Jen.
Great. So thank you, Mr. Liang. So thank you so much. We've come to the end of the session with Mr. Liang Foo Kuan, Managing Director of Big Onion Food Catering. Join us next week for more exciting news and more insight stories as we share more industry challenges, as well as industry new norms with all of you on HAPA TV. Thank you and have a good evening. See you again. Bye.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.